several questions. What? Yeah, so what you need to do is you need to go and get help, fix it. All right. Now, again, let me go back a little bit because some of you guys did have some questions, and I just want to go ahead and take care of those from 5-3. So let's look at that. Specifically, what was the question? Go.
It's not like specific, but can you explain to me how to tell the sides and angles?
Yeah, that's what we're discussing specifically. Which one?
No,
go ahead. Tell me.
Number 14.
All right. On this one. On the second worksheet, was that hard?
No, that was easy.
That was the easy one. Okay, so now let's go over here. All right, let's take a look at number 8. List the angles, right? I'm not sure why this one was difficult.
I just don't know how to do YC.
Look, this is 40 or 34. That goes with X.
Oh, I need.
That's all it is. Because remember, the side is the length of the side is determined by how big the angle is.
So 39 would go.
Right, so then for those of you guys who are with me now, 39 goes with Z, and 38 goes with Y. That's what that is. You don't have to explain it, right? The smallest side gives you the smallest angle.
Yeah.
So the smallest angle would be brilliant. Very good. Go.
Sorry, could you do 4 on page 17?
The previous page, right here. Question number 4.
No.
What?
We did it.
Measures are this one right here?
Yeah, 10 minutes, sorry.
Listen, you're walking into the room talking as if you're not interrupting. Number 4, measures that are...
No, 10. I meant to say 10, but I was...
Okay, so here we go. So measures that are greater than angle 4. All right, so over here, I'm looking at this right here. That's angle 4. All right. Now, do you agree that angle 1 has to be greater? Right? And why is angle 1? Because angle 1 is greater than this angle. So angle 1 has to be greater than angle 4. You agree with that?
Yeah.
All right. Now I can also look at maybe angle what? Angle 8 has to be greater than angle 4. Because angle 8 would be greater than those two angles. You would be on that? Can anybody see anything else on that? What? Yes, actually that's not bad to say. Alright. He is good. What? Hold on 1 second. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Alright. So now I'm going on to 14 to the next page.
14 on the last one.
The last worksheet. Right here, right? Because where's you asked me a question and I wanted you were able to figure it out. Okay. So 14, use the figure at the right to determine the relationship between the lengths of the given sides. So let's look at DE. All right, let's highlight DE. This guy right here, and then I'm looking at DG. All right. Now I'm not sure why you're having trouble with that, other than you have to figure out what the measure of the angles are, right? So the measure of this angle right here would have to be what? Yeah, 67. I'm agreeing.
Then once you figure that out, obviously that's a linear.
So yes. So then 67 plus 48 is 115, right?
How does that answer the question?
It doesn't. That's 65 degrees.
Okay, but then how does that
Because now you can say that DG is greater than DE. Because you know the angles. What?
We do a on the same page.
So the measures that are greater than angle 2. So sometimes I just think it's easier to highlight angle 2. Right. Now, what I would say is this angle is not even marked, but do you agree that angle right there would be greater? Right? Angle what? 6 and 9. Because all those are exterior angles. All right, yes. And again, some people argue about 1, but we've already had that conversation, right? I don't care about angle 1. 10 on this right here. Oh, on the previous, I'm sorry. Right here, so you're just checking your work. Yeah, so you're just checking your work here then, right? Because you would say 98 plus 43 is what? 151? So then that would be 29. So you're just checking your answer? And so what would that be? Is it 39?
Yeah.
98 and 43 is what? Yes, not 151. Thank you very much. Come on, you just asked me.
No, I see that.
It's the same principle. So what is the smallest angle? So how many degrees is that? So the question I'm trying to get you to realize, this angle forces this length. Do you agree? Meaning if I open and close that angle, and that's what I'm trying to say, I'm just trying to make it so it's clear. Because to me, this is one of the things that I didn't understand at first because I was too concerned about the length of ST and SU. That has absolutely nothing to do with TU. TU, as that angle gets bigger, the side gets what? The side gets bigger, right? If you open and close the angle, right? Yes, it determines how long, right? So you would think the bigger the angle, the bigger the side. That's all that means. So because 39 degrees is the smallest angle, side UT is the smallest. And then exactly ST, and then what? US. All right. I mean, to me, like I said, once you visualize that, the angle creates the side. It's very simple. Very simple. What?
Number 6 on the page.
All right, let's do.
I just don't know how to find out this.
Yeah, this is what I was. This is the one I was asking you about. You asked me about this, and so tell me how you got it.
I think you told me to do it visually, so I just.
Yeah. See, this is the one. This is the one I think they're of. I just think the editor just made a mistake on this, right? What?
Or you could use the.
But we don't know it's a right triangle.
Oh, okay.
You with me? We don't know it's a right triangle, so it's hard to tell.
So you can't.
No, I would say they just made a typo on that. All right, they make a typo. And today we're going to talk about what the possibility of this side is, right? It is very simple. It's very, very simple. Very simple. All right. Does that address most people's concerns on that? Any other questions? All right, everybody good? I don't, like I said, I don't think that's too bad. All right. Now today's lesson kind of is very similar, all right, in many respects. All right. So now, open up 5.5. Let's talk about that real quick. All right, now this is gonna look a little strange, but here's what I'm gonna try to demonstrate to you real quick. So look up just for a quick second, because I think this kind of makes sense. All right, if you have two sides of a triangle, look here. You have two sides of a triangle. I'm going to make a triangle. Right? So does everybody see? You're supposed to visualize this third side. Right? As I open and close, it's getting bigger. Right? Now, that's still a triangle, right? Now, why is that not possible?
Because what they would have to have it around.
Well, what degree measure is that? 180. So that's a line. There's no way it can be a triangle and a line. Do I agree with that? Right? So now, this length of this side is created from this pen and this pen right here go together. It's one length, correct? So now, watch. I'm going to create a triangle by creating an angle less than 180 degrees. Did I see that? So if I create an angle less than 180 degrees, what is the length of this side from here to here? Go ahead. What is this?
Two sides minus
Minus something.
Yeah.
Right, so let's say that length right here, let's say this is 4 and this is 5. That length is what? 9. So we agree? That third side is what? Less than what? Less than 9. Do we hear me? So the third side is less than the sum. Do we agree? Right? It's less than the sum. Now watch this. If I'm making the triangle, the angle is getting closer and closer, and now the angle is what? Between it. Between the two sides is how many degrees? 0. So they overlap. Do you agree? All right. So remember I said this was 4 and this was 5. So when they overlap, what's this distance here? 1. All right. So now when I create a triangle, now you got to look at it from the other perspective. As I move this up, what's that distance? Greater than what? Greater than 1. All right. So the rule for the third side of the triangle, it has to be
always greater than 1 and
greater than the greater than the difference. Listen to me. That's how simple it is. All right. The third side of a triangle is always less than the sum of the two sides and greater than the what? Greater than the difference. All right. It kind of has to do with that hinge, what we call it. All right. Called a hinge, the angle. All right. So the third side is always less than the sum and greater than the difference. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the sum, the triangle inequality. Let's look at that real quick and see what they say. It says if you take, well, I don't care about 3 straws, but let's just look at this picture down here. All right. Now, the thing I know about this triangle is what they're trying to tell you is that the sum of any two sides has to be greater than the what? The other side. And hopefully you understand that just by the diagram, or just by the explanation I tried to show you. The sum of any two sides of a triangle have to be greater than the third side. Everybody with me? All right. Now, again, it goes for all possibilities. A plus B has to be greater than C, B plus C has to be greater than A, and A plus C has to be greater than B. All right, so that's the relationship between the triangle. All right. Now, I think what they want you to do is to come up with the possibilities here. So again, I really think this is super easy. All right. Is it possible to form a triangle from 3, 4, and 6?
Yes.
Now, all you have to do, instead of testing all of them, is to find the two smaller sides
Yeah, you just do
and then add them. Because why? Because if you take a larger one, it's already greater. All right? Hopefully you understand what I'm saying on that. But to summarize, all you have to do is take the two smaller sides.
6 is less than 7.
If the sum is greater than the third side, then it can be made a triangle. Is everybody with me? All right? So 3 plus 4 has to be greater than 6 in order to create a triangle. So if I gave you length 3 and a length 4 and a length 6, could you make a triangle? And the answer is yes. Hopefully you realize you can't always make a triangle. At first I thought you could just make a triangle with any size, right? But then you think about it, if somebody gave you something that is a length of 1 and a length of 1 and a length of 10, you can't do that, right? Because if you pick up that side and you pick up the other side, there's no way. All right? So all you have to do is you look for the two smallest sides. If you can add those up, and that's greater than the third side, it's a triangle. All right? So number 1 would be what? Yes. Number 2 is what? No. Because again, that's this right here. This is what I was trying to show you earlier. You take your pen and your pencil, you put it together. When you add them together, that's what? That's a line. Right? So if you create an angle, it's got, that side has to be what? Less than. All right? It can't be equal to. All right? So in this case, this 6, 9, and 15, the answer would be what? The answer would be no. All right? So what about 8, 8, 8? Obviously, equilateral triangle. So that's yes. 2, 4, and 5. Yes. And then 4, 8, 16. And over here, easy as that. Very, very simple. You always take the two smallest sides. All right? Now, here we go. Now, the next part, for some reason, is a little bit trickier for kids. If I give you a side length of 1 and a side length of 6, I've got to find what are the other possibilities. All right? So I always tell kids this is the way you should write. Look how easy. X is the third side. It has to be less than what? Less than the sum. So you always write less than 7 and then greater than 5. So here's how I want you to write it. All right? You look smart if you write it like that. So that just means the third side has to be somewhere between what? It has to be somewhere between 5 and 7. Everybody okay with that? All right, it can be anything in between there. Less than the sum and greater than the difference. All right? So here we go. The third side would have to be less than what? And greater than? Yep, quite a range. All right? Number 10, it would have to be less than? Okay, I'm on 10 though. Less than 90 and greater than? Yeah, take your time on 82 minus 8, guys. All right, slow down. All right, let's not all do it at the same time. You don't have to worry. I understand where you could see 6 from that. I got it. All right, don't worry. I got 82 and 8. I get 6 all the time. All right. So number 9, the third side has to be less than and greater than. Greater than what? 3, 4, 5, 4. Brilliant, guys. Brilliant. Mental math is getting better every day. All right. So, now, listen, for the proof, all right, what we're going to do is, I think the proofs, I'm going to gather up some proofs, and we're going to work on the proofs on Friday. All right, we're going to work on the proofs on Friday.
Why would you?
Oh, my goodness, that's right.
What is it? Oh, I think so.
Maybe it's tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow then. All right. All right. So now, so again, listen. Come on. All right. So I think we're going to work on the proofs tomorrow from this chapter. So right now, I want you to work on just the next sections. Like I said, we will do the proofs tomorrow. So all you have to do is those next 2 worksheets. All right? Very simple. Very, very simple. You should be able to get them done. All right?
Wait, it's just bring coffee. The last two pages are the same.
All right, let me fix it.